Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the final episode for Loki. So, in the last episode, we pretty much got all the information that we needed in the sense of like, it was all an exposition episode, I guess you would say. Loki and Sylvie finally got in, and it was revealed who was running the TVA. Now before that, we were we were jump scared by Miss Minutes, who, I'm glad it wasn't just me, and she kind of offered them a deal, trying to see if they would take the bait, I guess, offering them what they originally wanted. But I guess after this point, it's not what they want anymore, so obviously they refused. So hopefully, spoilers, now that we know there's a season 2, we'll learn about Miss Minutes and see what her role is, because she did just leave, and who knows what she's gonna do next. But I mean, they went in and they were meted by the one who remains. So I'm guessing in this show they mix those two characters together, because I'm thinking that the one who remains and Kane the Conqueror are supposed to be two different people, right? The one who remains, I mean, at least that's what I think. I don't know the character. I was told that it was the oldest TVA member, but I guess it makes sense. It still makes sense with like the naming, the one who remains, because obviously he revealed himself to be a version of Kane. I don't know if he's the original, but he's the one who remains after the great multiversal war that happened. So they obviously explain everything, how I'm glad that he's just a regular human, I guess you would say. So us humans, we finally found the key to time travel, or a multi-dimensional travel, I guess you would say. He met himself and stuff, and they all started helping each other. But I guess I don't know why in the end they all start fighting. I mean, I don't know. I guess even you yourself can be greedy in other dimensions. But yeah, so we were explained everything. It was revealed that just everything has been planned, and even though he had to do this and it seemed harsh, it was doing something for the greater good, I guess. He had to kind of put this system in place in order to keep everything in check. And obviously, with Loki and Sylvie, they were there. I don't know if they saw it the same way, if they, agreed with what he was saying. But in the end, I guess it's just how things have to be, right? I mean, it definitely opens up, possibilities, because he's right. If there is a whole, different war that could happen, it could lead to, more disastrous events, I guess. So anyways, so after they got the whole exposition, I think it's good that I can talk about this, because everything was revealed, and then he ends up kind of like making a deal with him. Either you kill him, and then more Kane the Conquerors come, and they're far worse than him, or they can take the lead. And that's what I was thinking, because when Loki asked him why are you just giving this up, me and my dad, we were watching it together, we had the same answer. He's like, he's tired, and he said it, and it's like, yeah, living for however long, you tend to get tired. You're like, I'm done. I'm bored. Like, that's the whole thing about, being immortal, right? You get to live forever, but eventually it's just, what else can you do? Normally I'd say if you live for 200 years on Earth, sure, you'll get bored, but there's still stuff you can do, because new stuff keeps getting invented. But in his case, he is literally governing time at this point. So that's like, who's above him? Like God, whoever created him? Like I mean, he's practically God. He's literally controlling time. But anyways, so in the end, it causes Loki and Sylvie to kind of have, be at odds with each other, because Loki, like the rest of us, is thinking logically, and it's like, yes, we need to, he's telling the truth. Let's we got to rule together and kind of like organize everything. But Sylvie, she went through so much and all this, she just can't trust him, and so they start fighting. And then at the end, it looks like Loki is kind of getting into her senses, and I'm sure she wants to believe him, but after all she went through, she tricks him. And that's when we finally get our kiss, I guess, that we've been waiting for. It's kind of weird to root for them, because I know it's the same character, but I mean, whatever, right? I'd say all power to you, right? Because if you love yourself, it's perfect. But yes, she kind of uses it to distract him and get the little temp pad, I guess, that he has, like the master temp pad. And she pushes Loki back into the TVA, and she proceeds to then kill He Who Remains. I guess we can dub him as He Who Remains. And then, he's like, okay, well, I'll see you soon, because of course another variant of himself is going to come in. And also we see that, for all that time, he knew what was going to happen. He was evading all their attacks until a certain point where, a new branch came in, where it was the branch where he dies, right? And so now we see that the timeline is branching. There's different versions. And this would obviously tie in to other movies that are coming up, Multiverse of Madness for Doctor Strange. Obviously the new What If series, I thought it was just gonna be for fun, but it looks like even Marvel is making that canon. So it's pretty cool. Definitely gonna be watching that. And this might even explain Into the Spider-Verse, of course, if they do No Way Home as a Spider-Verse film, which I'm pretty sure they will at this point. And of course, this explains why they look so different, because normally we thought this was just gonna be a timeline thing, right? But no, this is a multiverse thing. That's why Peter looks different in each version, right? And why they can look older, because we have an older Loki, a younger Loki, which makes sense because, Tom Holland is like the youngest Spider-Man. Then we got, technically we got, Andrew Garfield and then Tobey in age, I guess you could say. Even though technically they're all the same age, pretty much, at least. You know what? No, I think what I said was true, because Tobey made it to college, right? And I don't know how far off we're going to go. I mean, from the leaks, it looks like, it's going to be the same age as from the movies. But, that's the same thing that we're going to have to deal with every character. I mean, what about our Loki? We were confirmed for a season 2, but will this Loki become the main timeline Loki and eventually go into the movies? Maybe he'll appear in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. Because obviously our Loki from the regular timeline is dead. So I guess a way that you can bring him back is like, obviously our Loki is dead, so this Loki would come into the main timeline and just live there, right? But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool episode. A lot of cool stuff was revealed and everything, and a lot of cool stuff is leading up to the next episode. We have characters that come back. I mean, we saw, Mobius come back and confront Renslayer, and she ended up leaving somewhere. We're not sure where. I think she's conflicted. Don't think she's met Kang the Conqueror yet, but we can't really say that because this is a timeline, a time travel show, right? Because, after Sylvie sent Loki back to the timeline, the TVA, we assume he went to the regular TVA, but apparently, I don't know how time, obviously we don't know how fast time works, because as soon as you get there, we're already in a different TVA, because when he finally meets up with Mobius and he tells him everything that's happening, we get that shocking twist that it's either a different TVA or they've been reset, because Mobius is kind of like, wait, who are you? What's your name? And we're like, no. And then we see that, there's a new Kang the Conqueror who's actually in the TVA, who's more present. The timekeepers, like their statues are gone and replaced with an actual statue of Kang the Conqueror. And I wonder, is this Kang the Conqueror going to be in multiple projects? I mean, I know that he's been confirmed as the main villain for Quantumania, but Quantumania doesn't come out until like 2023, right? So is he not going to be defeated in Doctor Strange? Is he the villain for Doctor Strange as well? I mean, who knows what's going to happen. But overall, this wasn't really a finale feeling episode. I guess this should have been a second to last episode, right? It was all exposition, but if it's obviously to set up way more, so I think that's why we're all okay with it. Like, this is a series finale. I guess it would work because there's a season 2, but still, I loved it overall. I still think it's my favorite one, but like, after looking back at some of the other Marvel shows we've gotten, and I'm gonna do a synopsis on those two pretty soon on a podcast, as well as Loki. And also Black Widow, I might do my review. I'm thinking, should I do my review on it on a separate video or include it in the podcast? I've already done a lot for Loki, so I might as well do that in the podcast. So I think I'll do that and, tie everything together. But Other than that, I'm pretty happy with everything. I mean, Loki was a great show. This is definitely setting up a lot for Phase 4, because Phase 4 seems to be all time travel. And now, hopefully, we go straight into What If, and if it really is canon, maybe the first episode would kind of like piggyback off this last episode. So I guess we'll see. But make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss when that first review comes out for that series. And with that being said, here's to a great Phase 4. We're finally officially diving even more into the multiverse, right? So yeah, here's that. Here's hoping What If is a great show, and here's hoping that we get a Spider-Man trailer soon. So thank you all for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe so you miss out on anything else that I upload. And until next time, bye.